In recent times, most of the actively managed large cap mutual funds are not able to beat the index, and hence people are tempted for investing in large cap index funds. For the people who are ready to take a little more risk, large and mid cap category of mutual fund is a good option to consider. In short, large and mid cap categories of funds are those funds which predominantly invest in large as well as mid cap stocks and can provide a better return with a little more volatility. So in today's video, we will discuss about one popular fund in large and mid cap segment, that is Mirae Asset Emerging Bluechip Fund, and check its performance using real data. And by the end of the video, we shall be able to decide whether to invest or continue our investment in this fund or should exit this fund now. Hello everyone, I am Dhaval and welcome to my channel DIY Finance. To start with, we all know that Mirae Asset Emerging Bluechip Fund has been one of the star performers in its category, that is large and mid cap category. Here we will be taking into consideration data of direct plans only. Firstly, let's look at the basic details like AUM, that is total asset under management, which is around 22,900 crores, which is little high for a large and a mid cap category. While the expense ratio is 0.69% and is also on a higher side as compared to other schemes. The benchmark index, that is the reference against which the scheme is compared, is Nifty Large and Mid Cap 250 TRI. Now let's look at the sector-wise allocation. From the table, it is very clear that the fund is heavily invested in finance, that is approximately 28%, followed by automobile, healthcare, energy, technology and capital goods. Finance being a core sector and energy and technology being an evergreen sector, and quite a good performing large and mid-sized companies form a part of the sectors. And when compared to its benchmark, its allocation is almost similar except for finance and energy sector. As evident, HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, Axis Bank and SBI are the main stocks of the finance sector. The fund is quite heavy on financial sector, and underperformance of the financial sector can impact the overall performance of the fund. Infosys from the technology sector and Reliance from the energy sector are the main stocks. On checking the portfolio allocation, it is evident that the large cap shares form around 54% of the portfolio, whereas mid cap shares form other 42% of the portfolio, and the rest 4% is allocated to small cap stocks. This type of portfolio allocation and strategy is quite beneficial in long run for a higher return. Mr. Nilesh Surana has been managing the fund since January 2013, that is since the inception of the fund, and has been joined by Mr. Ankit Jain in January 2019, and such a long standing association of the fund manager with the same scheme is quite beneficial for the fund and is an added advantage for the scheme. Now let's see how the fund performs on risk parameters. Here we compare the parameters with benchmark index and category average. First, mean return, that is the average return in a year, which is 22.58, which is higher than both the category average and the benchmark. Here, higher the value is better. Second, standard deviation, that is a tool to measure how much the return has deviated away from the mean return, which in this case is 22.49 and is more than the benchmark index but less than the category average. Here, lower the value is better. Third, Sharpe ratio, that is a tool to measure the risk adjusted return, which is 0.85, which is more than both the benchmark index and category average. Here, higher the value is better. Fourth, beta, that is the volatility of the scheme compared to the benchmark, which is 0.99, which is more than the category average. Here, lower the value is better. Fifth, alpha, that is a tool that measures how much better the fund has performed compared to the category. Here, it is 3.68, which is higher than the category average. Here, higher the value is better. Hence, from the above data, it can be concluded that the fund's performance is better than the category and benchmark, but this performance comes at the cost of more volatility. So now let's compare the trailing, calendar and the rolling returns. On comparing the trailing returns for 7 years, 5 years, 3 years, it easily beats the benchmark and category with a good margin. But when comparing the returns of 1 year and less, the performance has not been that good. Now let's also check the calendar returns for the consistency of the performance. On checking the calendar returns for last 8 years, that is from 2014 to 2021, the fund has been able to outperform the category and index almost all the times, which indicates the fund has been consistent in its performance, which is quite a good sign for a fund. So now look closely at the returns of this calendar year, that is 2022. On checking the calendar returns for the year 2022, the fund has been performing quite poor and has not been able to beat its category or index in any of the quarters. Overall, the year of 2022 has been quite difficult for most of the funds, and I feel one of the major reasons for the underperformance in 22 is the fund's over allocation in financial sector, especially the banking stocks, which have underperformed, resulting in an overall underperformance of the fund. Now let's also check the rolling returns for 5 years, 3 years, 1 year and 6 months. Here also, the performance of rolling returns is better than the benchmark and has been able to beat the benchmark 100% for 5 years and 3 years period. For 1 year period, it is 90% and for 6 months, it is 83%, which indicates the fund's performance has been really good in a long term. Now let's see the upside and downside capture ratios. The upside capture ratio is the measure of how the fund performed relative to the index during the period when the index rose. Here, the value is 105, which indicates that the fund outperformed 5% more than the index during this rise period. Here, higher the value is better and should generally be more than 100. The downside capture ratio is the measure of how the fund performed relative to the index during the period when the index has dropped. Here, the value is 92, which indicates that the fund declined 92% as compared to the index during this fall period. Here, lower the value is better. The upside ratio and downside ratio both are quite good, and it has been generally observed over long run those funds having a higher downside protection has been able to generate better returns. Here, as both the ratios are quite good, the fund has a potential to generate excellent performance in long run. Now let's see the risk return graph. Here on x-axis we have standard deviation, whereas on y-axis we have total returns. It is very evident from the graph that the fund has better total returns value with higher standard deviation as compared to the benchmark index, but lower than that of the category, which indicates that the fund has been able to generate better returns with higher volatility than the benchmark index. Generally, higher volatility is directly linked to higher risk, but if the investment horizon is longer, this does not always tend true. Hence, for large and mid-cap fund, one should have a longer investment horizon, typically more than 6 years. So now coming to the conclusion, what should investors do? Before concluding this video and suggest what investors should do, I would request all of you that as you have watched the video till now, it seems that the topic is of your interest. Hence, I would request all of you to press the like button and also subscribe to my channel to watch such interesting videos in future also. So now let's look what investors should do. First, the existing investors. As the fund's performance has been good in past but has been underperforming in last 1 year, one should continue their investment right now but keep a close watch on the fund's performance and review after 6 months. This category of funds are prone to more volatility compared to large cap funds, and one should not worry much but have to be cautious. For the new investors, as the fund has been underperforming since last 1 year, one should at least wait for 6 more months before starting investment in this fund. Or if one to start investment immediately in this category, that is large and mid-cap category, then one can go with Canara Robeco Emerging Equity Fund, whose performance has been better than the Mirae Asset Emerging Bluechip Fund, especially in the last 3 years. I would like to add that presently I do not have this fund in my portfolio and I am not planning for investment in this fund in near future also. I will again try to review this fund after 6 to 7 months and check its performance. So stay tuned to my channel. Please subscribe to my channel if you have not done till now, and also press the like button. Do check my older videos. Click the attached cards to watch these videos. Thank you.